It is the news we've been waiting to give you for a long, long time. Sportskeeda Wrestling, I'm Kev Kelm. I am proud to tell you this news confirmed just about an hour ago by WWE. They are back on the road this summer. This is going to be awesome. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! WWE confirming what fans have been expecting for weeks now. We heard the rumblings of it for quite some time. Was SummerSlam going to be the big return of WWE back on the road in front of fans full force? We saw it with WrestleMania. Thousands of fans attended in Tampa Bay, and now we learned that WWE is indeed going to hit the road this July. They will be hitting the state of Texas for a loop that will include SmackDown on television starting on July 16th in Houston, Texas, followed by the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which will be that's following Sunday on the 19th in Fort Worth, and then Dallas, Texas will have Monday Night Raw the following night. All the details available now at sportskeedawrestling.com, confirmed by WWE. There will be 25 dates in total, and where those shows are not exactly known. There's been a lot of rumblings that possibly SummerSlam could land in Las Vegas, Nevada, or somewhere in Nevada. And then we heard rumblings of, Money in the Bank landing in Texas. So this is what we heard yesterday. This is why you should keep an eye on your notifications. This is why you should subscribe to the Sportskeeda Wrestling channel here on YouTube, here on Facebook Watch. Turn those notifications on so you know exactly when we go live. We can drop news like this for you all the time. If you haven't done it already, go ahead and download the Sportskeeda app. That app available in Google Play and in iTunes. Check out our content. We have a whole bunch of different stuff. This is great news. This is great news. 25 dates for WWE before Labor Day. So letting you know that they are genuinely going full force with this. Now, if you do the math there, 25 dates, that could line up almost like, hey, we're exclusively doing just television stuff, which I think is the major draw. But we know none of that is confirmed. WWE going to announce this pretty soon. These 3 shows in Texas, tickets for those go on sale on the 26th of May. So these will be in high demand. I think there'll be people that travel in for these shows. I think there'll be people that will want to sell these tickets and make a lot of money on the back end here. This is huge. What do you think here? What do you think? Are you excited about WWE coming back? We knew this was happening. We knew this was just a matter of when. And this is almost, I would say, a little bit ahead of schedule. We're not even out of May here. And we're looking 2 months ahead into the time frame. Now, this lines up with a lot of other live entertainment and other live sports that are going in this direction. For example, I'm here in Chicago. Both Major League Baseball teams expanding to 60% capacity. We don't know what capacity limits will be on these WWE shows, depending on where they run. They note these are in Texas, where there is not a mask mandate, and they've wanted to run things at full capacity. They've ran different boxing events recently, huge crowds. Have ran different baseball games here. Mohan texting in saying, very good news for fans. Absolutely great news for fans. Great news for the wrestling industry as a whole. You start putting WWE in television, real fans. It just adds to the show. It absolutely adds to the show. If you're excited about this, hit that like button. Let us know what you think of it. Get your comments on screen just here like Mohan did. And let us know how you guys are feeling about this here. Jose G, what's up, Jose G? Broski. Is pretty happy that we are right on money with the story over a week. Yes, we've been on the money with this for a while. And we've been following it pretty closely. And this is big news. Now, we heard yesterday that Fox Network, through WrestleVotes, had been wanting this to happen, that they wanted things that they invest in to be in front of real crowds at the right time as people are getting excited to do this. Like I said, lines up. Major League Baseball is making these moves. Major concerts were announced. Lollapalooza, one of the biggest rock concerts in North America, was confirmed to run in Chicago. I know I'm just bringing up Chicago stuff, but you also have New York City wants to be open, and they want to have big things. I wonder what cities will get this. If WWE will focus mainly on Florida and Texas and the Southwest, where we've been hearing rumblings of this, where there is where the regulations are different, and there could be some parts of the country where they're not going to do this. And this will mainly focus in the United States for touring and quarantine purposes. But hopefully everyone's safe. Get your vaccinations, do your thing, be safe, get tested. If you're not in the vaccine crowd, do the things that keep other people safe. And hopefully everyone is safe on the road with this story as it develops. This could also mean big things for SummerSlam. Is SummerSlam going to be an expanded, 4-day loop? Are they going to stay in one city? Are they going to stay in a region? Are they going to do that the same way they've ran events before? It'll be interesting. Do they want another big destination event like SummerSlam? I think it'd be smart for them to do it. They did it in Vegas. like we've been hearing. Whew, that'd be a really big deal for them. These are arenas. It's worth noting these are not open air venues that they're running. They're running the Dickies Arena for Money in the Bank there, so they're not running amphitheaters. It'd be interesting to see how WWE moves on with this. AEW announcing a loop that they're doing similar. They're running Florida and Texas, two places where they know they can run these venues and get them open and do it right away. And I wonder what towns they'll announce as those regulations start to, be pulled back in the weeks and months ahead. I'm pumped. Hopefully in the Midwest we get a loop. Hopefully you guys in the Northeast get one. Now I'm feeling for my fans up in Canada, the wrestling fans up there, as they're in a very complete lockdown. Their vaccine rollout not nearly as fast. Obviously feeling for our friends in India, where the COVID outbreak they've had is just absolutely terrifying to read and follow about. So as much as we think about this, I also think about the process we've gone through to get here, and where we are looking at the other side of this thing is where we are. I think that there is some positive to this, but we still have to, be safe, do the things we're supposed to do. And it's worth noting, WWE not saying this as well, but other events have. I brought up Lollapalooza there. They are talking, and there's been talk of it, but it has not been confirmed, that they could bring in a process where you would have an app that would verify that you've either tested clear for the virus or you have been vaccinated for the virus, and it would work with a third-party app. So you wouldn't have to share any private health information, but you would apply to a registry, and they would be able to track that information. You can confirm it. Now, there's a lot of people using this, about 1 million people using this in the greater New York City area. So will you get like a Vax Pass? Will that be applied to these events? We don't know. And mind you, that's worth noting that could be applied to a lot of different things. You have some vaccinated sections now in Major League Baseball. Will there be a vaccinated section? Will you only be able to be on the floor if you're vaccinated for these events? There's so many different things we don't know. Shout out to Sing, man. How you doing in Malaysia? Checking out the shows. Let us know where you guys are watching from. If you're watching for the first time or on demand, jump into the conversation here. I don't mind taking questions about this. Craig wants to know, how can they go for live shows when they're getting rid of so much talent? They'll only be able to run an hour-long show. They have an immense level of talent in WWE. I know where people talk about these cuts. Why was it done? They weren't running live shows, so you didn't need as much depth when they did those first cuts in the spring of 2020. There was a lot of people let go, a lot of talented people let go. A lot of them landed on their feet, specifically the Good Brothers. Will some of those people come back? I don't know. But WWE is certainly in a position where they're going to be back on the road. I just don't see house shows being a part of this. When we talk about live events, we're talking about live televised events. It doesn't seem like that could be a thing. Now, if it is, I'll be surprised. I don't mind being wrong in that regard. And so this is certainly an exciting time here. And we look forward to seeing you at wrestling events in 2021. And if you know a fan who is just itching to get back to wrestling, and they're going to travel down to Texas, I would love for them to have the link sent to them for this video. And I'd love to have a conversation with them in the comments below. I will be there talking to you in the comments below. If you haven't done already, hop over to our YouTube channel, subscribe. We just dropped an interview today with Jim Ross, the legendary Jim Ross, talking at length about his working relationship with Vince McMahon and how Vince McMahon said something incredibly sweet to him and the place that AEW is in now as they got back on the road. We also dropped an interview on our podcast feed, a brand new episode of Inside Cradle, over an hour. We also have Conrad Thompson on that. So everything we're doing on our podcast audio, we're going to start doing video and audio. So it's more flexible. You can listen to it and consume it however you guys choose here. People excited about Money in the Bank coming to Texas. Yes. Everything is big in Texas, and this is a big way for WWE to roll out live events once again. Thank you guys so much for supporting the stream. We hope you had a good time watching this video. If you did, why don't you just share the link? Why don't you just hit a little like button? Hit a little like there. All right, and spread the good word. And remember, when watching wrestling, mask up, get your shots, be safe, and enjoy wrestling.